Hi everybody, today I'm going to provide you an update on my US and Singapore stock portfolio and also the unit trust portfolio. On top of that, today I'm going to introduce a new portfolio that I have just started, and it is a US centric portfolio using the fund from my SRS account. So if you want to know more about that, do stay tuned towards the end. First, let's look at my Singapore and US stocks portfolio. As of end of January, the portfolio value currently is at slightly more than 142,000, which actually I have about 25% of capital not invested. So what are the changes that I made to my portfolio from 31st of December 2024 to 31st of January? I have actually buy more for one of my existing stocks, which is Microsoft, where I see some weakness in Microsoft, and I decided to add in and increase my holding on Microsoft. This is my Singapore portfolios, and you can see none of them have more than 5% weightage. The one that have the highest is Mapletree Logistics Trust, which have a weightage of 4.71%, followed by CapitaLand Invest. The other two REITs, Fraser Centrepoint and CapitaLand Integrated Commercial Trust, currently have the lowest holding of 1.5%. Currently, my Singapore portfolio take up 33.7% of the total portfolio, which means that I still got about more than 16% of my money that I can fully deploy into the Singapore portfolios. Let's look at my US portfolio. None of them have more than 5% weightage, with the highest one will be Google, followed by Nike. And Microsoft have become the third largest holding after I have add more position on it in the month of January, which make it 4.35%. So the one with the lowest percentage weightage is the Equinix, which I just added in December last year. So the total portfolio weightage currently is 40.46%, which means I still got about 10% buffer. And you see this 10% buffer, I will try to use it when there is a better opportunity arise, like for example, when there is a big market downswing or when there is certain stocks that become very attractive in it. And my cash balance is 25.83%, which is more than 30,000 in terms of values that I can deploy in furthermore into the market when the opportunity arises. And this is my portfolio performance, and the uptrend still continue, and we can see that the gap have continued to widen between my capital and the portfolio value, and hope this trend continue to grow. And let's look at the dividend collected since the portfolio is set up, and it has started to breach the 4,000 marks over the years. And of course, definitely this dividend collected cumulative will get more and more over time. But let's look at it breakdown over the years. And for the year of 2025, where I just collected 1 month of dividend, and happened to be there is no dividend payout for the Singapore stocks for the month of January. But looking at the payout for the month of January on the US stocks itself, it already surpassed the whole year dividend payout for the year 2022 on the US stocks. So that is what I call a snowball effect and a compound effect. And as the portfolio value start to grow, the dividend payout will definitely be increasing over time. And this is just only about 1 month. It already overtake year 2022 dividend collected for US stocks. Now let's move on to my unit trust portfolio. There is no changes for the unit trust portfolio. For the month of January, I continue to add in $700 into all the 7 respective funds, except the Nikko AM short-term bond fund. And come the month of February, I have intention to do some rebalancing on the portfolio, and I will keep everyone updated in my next update on what are the changes I have made for my unit trust portfolio. Similarly, the positive momentum have continued, and also the profit and capital gap have continued to widen, and I hope that the profit can continue to grow. Now, let me talk about a new portfolio where I use my SRS to invest. For those who are not sure what is SRS, SRS is Supplementary Retirement scheme where we can contribute a maximum of 15,300 into it to enjoy personal tax savings. However, the money will not be able to withdraw until when you turn age 62 or 63. That depends on when you open your SRS account. I have started this portfolio with an initial 30,000 of capital from my SRS account, which equivalent to about 2 years of SRS contribution. On top of that, I am contributing $500 every month from my SRS account into this portfolio. So what is this portfolio about? This portfolio is a US centric portfolio where up to 70% of the capital will be invested directly into the US market, which will be the ETF listed in the US exchange and also the stocks listed in the US exchange. This is where you can see here. And the other 30% will be invested in the unit trust. This is my portfolio allocation where I use a principle of 4-3-2-1. I'll invest 40% of the fund inside the account into US sector ETF. And we know that there is 11 sector ETF in the US market, but every month I'll invest into 3 sector ETF. And if I feel that the market is a bit too risky on that, I may trim down my sector ETF and channel the money into a US Treasury Bond ETF, ALT. And next, the other 20%, I will invest into SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF, but also based on the market risk, I'll adjust it and allocate some of the fund to IEF, which is a 7 to 10 year US Treasury ETF. And next, I'll allocate another 10% into investing in 3 US blue chip stocks. Means that I kept my stocks exposure in this portfolio to be only 3 stocks. I will only choose company that is fundamentally sound, and they usually are the large cap company. Most of them will be household name. So this will be the 10% allocation. And when the opportunity arises, I will invest into them. And along the way, I may change the stocks based on market conditions. And thus, this 70% allocation will purely invest into the US market directly, and thus the currency investor will be in USD. The other 30% I'll prefer to invest in SGD denominated unit trust fund, and this will not be restricted to any market or any teams or any sectors. It will depend on market conditions and allocated the fund into that unit trust. Also that I can also choose not to invest this 30% of money and park it into the money market fund, which is also a form of unit trust. So this is the strategy I plan for my SRS account. The portfolio have been running just for 1 month, and currently the capital invested is 30,500. And during the first week of every month, I'll top up $500 into the account. And the current portfolio value now is 30,700. So actually, we have made about $200 over profits during the first month. And this portfolio have not been fully deployed yet. From here, you can see that the 70% supposed to be in the US market currently only comprise of up to 60%. As I currently only have 1 US stocks, which is called the United Healthcare Group. And I still got plot to buy another 2 more US stocks. And also why add together is still less than 70% because I have top up additional $500. As you see, I will do a rebalancing on the US portfolio, usually on the first day or second day of the month. Okay, then after that, $500 will come in. And a lot of people is aware that our SRS money that's parked in the SRS account are not allowed to invest into the US market directly. You are only allowed to buy those stocks listed in SGX or ETF listed in SGX, and also can buy unit trust. But how can I use my SRS fund to invest in all these US counter? Is I invest it through a managed account rather than using Poems platform, where just now I show you the Singapore stocks and US stocks portfolio is I invest directly to Poems account because Poems account can access to more than 20 over exchange globally. But for SIS account, I can't use Poems account to invest directly into the US market, and thus I use the managed account way to invest onto it. And the balance of the money, currently 40% is still sitting on cash, where I will plan to deploy some of them into the unit trust in the coming month of February, where I will provide more update on the unit trust allocations in my next videos. And that's all I have to share with you today. And if you feel that this video have benefit you, do remember to like, share, and leave your comment below. I shall see you in my next video. Bye bye.